So, even though it is late, not even that late, it's like 8 o'clock, but even though the sun is down, I wanted to film a video today, and I wanted to try my hand at doing some magazine flipping and simultaneously gum chewing, because it seems to be a very popular sort of video in the ASMR community. I don't know why gum chewing and magazine flipping kind of go together, but apparently they do. And so that is what I wanted to try my hand at today. I will tell you guys, I'm sorry if the video is like worse quality. I had to turn the phone around and use the front-facing camera, basically, which is lower quality than the one on the back. And the reason that I kind of had to do that was because I am having issues with the phone that I'm using to record shutting off in the middle of my recording, and then like I can't see when it does it because I have to like keep getting up and checking. And like last time I recorded a whole video and my freaking microphones ran out of juice. Like, okay, they were flashing blue, which is the color for connection, like when I tested it, but then apparently like as soon as I sat down to like record, they like switched to red. So I recorded a whole video with no audio. So it's gonna be kind of hard. I'm not used to looking at this viewfinder right here, and it's kind of distracting to be able to see myself. I prefer to like not see myself when I'm trying to record a video, but I will get used to it, and I'm going to try to look and talk into the viewfinder. And luckily I have quite a bit of experience with doing that on my other channel, so hopefully right now I'm looking you guys in the eye. So anyway, what type of gum am I going to be chewing? This is, maybe you can tell from the color already, it's orange, it's orange, it's orange, it's orange, it's orange. It is some orange Trident that was in my little mini transport that I use kind of as a purse, because I don't like purses. Mini backpacks are super, super cute. But anywho, this is the tropical twist flavor. Fun fact, this is the only type of gum that I will freaking chew. I feel like I found this gum like as a kid, and like I've never ever found another gum that I liked better than this gum, that even like came closer even compared to this gum, because like the flavor is so strong. So like if you like citrus flavors or like orangey flavors or fruit flavored gum, you will love this gum. So yeah, just like very tropical. On the front it's telling you make your own beats and enter for a chance to win a trip to the Grammys, which is interesting. I never bothered reading that before, you know what I mean? So anyways, this is what I'm going to be chewing. Let's just open it up. And, oh, cute, it's got a little radio. And it's funny, the things you never notice or pay attention to, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to take one piece for now. Personally the biggest fan of like gum chewing. I don't mind it as long as people aren't like lip smacking, I guess. But I definitely wouldn't like actively seek out these videos, even though I do like mouth sounds, so like it's weird. I read that gum stimulates saliva production the other day, because I was looking up things that whiten your teeth, and like I wanted to know if putting Vaseline on your teeth is actually safe. Like, you can eat that shit, and apparently if you apply a thin layer to your teeth before drinking or eating something, like for example red wine that could like stain your teeth, apparently putting the thin layer of Vaseline on there will like protect it. I've never tried it, I've never done it. What it really is I just need to stop drinking coffee. But I also learned from that article that if you instead drink your coffee through a straw, it's not hitting like your teeth like in a mug. You're like drinking and like swishing it all around in your mouth. But in a straw, you're avoiding your teeth. So like I may try if I still ever want to drink coffee, which is kind of weird to drink hot coffee with a straw. But if I ever want to drink an iced coffee, trying it out of a straw. But I'm trying to switch to matcha, and like I still drink energy drinks and stuff. obviously I have to get my caffeine somehow. Like, how else would I get through the day? But yeah. Okay, and ooh, very shiny. So the magazine that I'm going to be flipping through is this Bitch. B-I-T-C-H, Bitch. It is a feminist response to pop culture. That's the tagline. See right up there. Probably too tiny for you guys to see. And it is iridescent. And we have this beautiful portrait of someone on the cover, and her ponytail with the braids cascading down. Very beautiful. She's got on huge earrings, very claw-like nails. And yeah, I stuck this sticker over my old address because I didn't want people to like creepily stalk me and like try to get my full name. So it is also iridescent, which is kind of a nice theme, don't you think? And it's really hitting because like since the sun is already down, I have to set up like there's just two lamps that are like regular lamps that are in my room. But I just like take the lampshade off and like set them up, hoping that I get some sort of light from them. But anyway, so I'm just going to be paging through here and just talking to you guys about and talking and showing you guys things that I feel like are interesting. So I'm just going to be flipping. Okay. Focus. So this ad is kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool because it's like Rosie the Riveter, but like they made her black. So that's kind of neat. I don't really care about the ad. I don't really know what it's an ad for. I guess Northwest Carpenters Union. Seems very oddly specific, you know what I mean? On the opposite page, there is a quote. There are just so many wonders that come when you put your stories into the world by Deisha Philyaw. And I recognize this name. Because I believe I read this woman's book of short stories. I think it was The Secret Lives of Church Ladies. It was really, really good. I ended up rating it like 4 stars. And it's basically about like black women in the church who are gay, and also kind of like going about like navigating that and like their different stories and kind of what they go through, you know what I mean? So that's kind of cool. I wonder, it says page 32, so she must have an interview or an article of some sort in here. Okay. We've got the glossary. And this page shows you all the different contributors. What I like about this magazine specifically, something that's really nice, is that a lot of the contributors are like pretty diverse. Because I feel like I used to read magazines and like it was a lot written by white people, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm not sure what's going on here, but I'm definitely very, very interested because I see Star Trek. Many believe that fan fiction sprung into existence in the 1960s, with the Star Trek fans spinning their own tales about their favorite characters. Well, it was never a small community, it was a quiet one, with the fan fiction career being the sort of thing you may not tell even your closest friends about. That's funny because, like, the couple Kirk and Spock, like, Kirk and Spock fan fiction, like, fans shipping them together, kind of like created fan fiction, you know what I mean? Like, Star Trek is the source, the origin for so many things, like the original / couple fan fiction, you know what I mean? Like, oof, as a Trekkie myself, this is really cool. I don't know what the then and now is like talking about though. Like, just randomly like doing a timeline. I'm gonna skip these things because I don't know what they are. I do want to know what the Get Out thing says, just because like I went to go see Get Out and it was a really good movie. Get Out marked a new wave of black horror films, with Jordan Peele winning an Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay, and the film becoming an instant classic. In the years that followed, films such as Peele's Us, Remy Weeks' His House, and Nia DaCosta's Candyman have ushered in a black horror renaissance. Love that. We love some black horror, do we not? And honestly, I need to explore it more because I haven't really watched horror, like read that much, but I know there's like a lot of really good authors that I need to check out. But Get Out is such a good movie. Like Us was pretty okay too, but I think Get Out is better. This one is talking about a song by Haley Steinfeld called Love Myself. I don't know what it is, but apparently this song is about masturbation, which sounds cool. Like I should probably listen to that, because I feel like women's masturbation isn't like talked about enough, just like generally, or like in pop culture. Women's anything isn't talked about enough in pop culture, but you know what I mean. Specifically, like I feel like it's like more taboo for women to talk about it than it is for men. Everyone just assumes a man is jacking at 24/7, you know what I mean? But so I'll probably go and listen to the song eventually. Like I kind of vaguely remember seeing some stuff about it, but not really. But okay, another song that I love that is like a woman talking about masturbation is Charlie XCX's Body of My Own. Oh my god, love that song. Okay, and then obviously we have to kind of look at the section that says fanfiction, just because like somebody was obsessed with fanfiction and kind of like dabbled in writing it. So let's see what it says. Over the past decade, some fanfiction writers have turned their hope into a lucrative career, beginning with E.L. James's wildly successful 50 Shades trilogy. Is that really where we went with this? Fucking Twilight fanfiction. God damn it, there's so many things you could have talked about for this, but okay. Fanfiction has become the perfect place for creators to expand the worlds created by others. For some authors, such as James, fanfiction is just the beginning. For other authors, fanfiction is the realm where they're most content. Either way, it feels delightfully less shameful to spend one's time writing fanfiction. After all, it might just pay off. That's definitely not the motivation, you know what I mean? Anyway, it looks like we've got kind of, on this next page, we've got kind of an advice column, which I'm not going to read because it just doesn't sound interesting right now. This page is talking about how Bitch magazine began as a scene in San Francisco in 1996. The very first scene is believed to have been The Comment, a sci-fi fanzine created in the 30s by the Science Correspondence Club in Chicago. That's pretty freaking cool. Science fiction, man. We're so... we just be creating some shit, you know what I mean? People like to laugh at people that like sci-fi. We no joke. We are the fucking future. I feel like I'm like smacking this little section here with like a cute little graphic. It's talking about the movie Hidden Figures, which I did watch. Has Janelle Monáe in it, and kind of talks about these three black women who were like an integral part of NASA. Their story has kind of been forgotten, or rather, their achievements were kind of like swept under, like sort of behind the scenes, you know, as with a lot of things that black women do, you know what I mean? Holy shit, this page is talking about Nikki Kendall, who I recognize also, I think, because she wrote, she wrote a book about white feminism that I can't think of the name of right now, and maybe it says it somewhere right here. Hood Feminism. Yeah, that's a book that I actually bought for someone that I know. It kind of basically talks about how white feminism fails the rest of feminists, as in like, you know, non-white women of color, etc. Talks about things, how like food access and shortages and things like that aren't really considered a feminist issue, but they should be. It was a really, really good book, so like I'm excited to read this little section that she's written here. No way! You guys know that I just hauled this. If you saw my chaotic thrifted book haul, I just hauled this book called Women Who Run with the Wolves. So this is the bitch list feminist faves from more feminist faves. So let's see what they're saying about it. One image from Women Who Run with the Wolves made me so breathless I had to put the book down. A feral wolf caught in a trap, hooked by the ankles in the wilderness. Clarissa Pincola Estes. I think it's Estes. I'm not a Spanish speaker at all. Legendary feminist text, originally published in the early 90s, remains just as urgent and necessary today. It defies the cultural scripts that ride us into subjugation and shrink us down. Estes offers us a language with which we can begin writing the stories of triumph and liberation that are our birthright. And the person who said that was Carmen Rios, writer, broadcaster, and strategist. Well, I kind of wonder what the wolf image there was referring to. Maybe just women feeling trapped by society. I'm not sure. Feeling bound by society, because that's some real shit. I'm not sure if I mentioned or not that this is actually the spring issue of this year, number 90. And it's literally been unopened for months. Like, I got this since before we moved and just haven't touched it. Like, I haven't sat down to like look through it. Like, usually I'll read these cover to cover, and although I've only read like one issue so far, I feel like I really enjoyed it. Like, I felt like it was worth the money. I've never really been a big magazine reader. Like, the only other magazine I used to like to get was called Nylon, but I kind of hated that, like, a lot of the fashion and like, I don't know, I didn't feel like it was very diverse. Like, I liked reading the interviews with different women that they would have on the cover and shit like that, but like the hair tips and stuff would never be like anything that would ever work on my hair. Like, you gotta figure out who their audience was, like, based on the ads and things like that. And that's kind of partially why I canceled my subscription to was it Runner's World? I guess I also used to read women's running, but I thought like Runner's World was better. But anyway, so I ended up canceling my subscription to that because like the gear that they advertised in there was so expensive. And also I would just very rarely read like an actual good article in there. But anyways, it's beside the point. It looks like this is an article about black fashion, and I see FUBU mentioned here, and so I'm really interested to read this. It's funny because lately I've been thinking a lot about the lines from this poem, and I feel like it kind of relates to this, like, or like this clip. I saw this clip of someone saying that black queerness is like generative, or like black queerness is like always created, and I'll try to link it if I can go back and find it on Instagram. But I've also been thinking about kind of a similar sentiment that was in this poem. Let me see if I can just pull it up on my Instagram real quick. Yeah, it was from Magical Negro by Morgan Parker. But okay, what she says is, where the white might see linearity, for example, the Negro might see reproduction. Where the Negro might see luck in a collard green, the white might see $7.99 per pound. I feel like it's sort of a similar type of thing. Like, it's seeing beyond the literalness of what it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of hard to explain what I'm saying, but anyway, it just reminded me of that. I like how their pages are always like different colors. Like, the actual background of the page will be like a solid color. Boomer to Zoomer. Grim generational relations aren't an accident. Yeah, I really hate how we have to like pit generations consumer. I feel like it's just cringe. Anyway, article about sex doll brothels. Oh, this one's cool. It looks like kind of a retrospective of different bitch magazine covers throughout time, which is cool. Kind of a cool collage. Ooh, that one looks like a woman's afro made out of cords. That's cool. I wonder how old some of these are. I see the pink issue. It's got some peeps there. Ooh, I like this one that's purple drip paint. I'm not sure how well you guys can see these. I apologize. Yeah, their covers are always really cool, I feel like. We got an article on immigration, which I do really need to get educated on. I know there are people at the border and kids in cages and just a lot of really sad, fucked up shit going on, but I'm not super educated about it, so. You also gotta love the quality of paper in here. Like, I feel like it's not construction paper, but it's like matte, you know? It's not like slick, like a lot of magazines. So yeah, the immigration article is solid green. Okay, yeah, this article with So yeah, this is the article I was talking about in the beginning, and it has this nice mirrored portrait of her. It says the only gaze, tracing the evolution of black women's stories. Oh, the only gaze is ours. Hell yeah, that reminds me of Toni Morrison. Ooh, and we have, so I'm not sure if these are portraits or self-portraits, but it's a bunch of pictures of different black women, which is cool. I specifically will pick up books with black or women of color on the cover because I love a gorgeous cover where like we're front and center. And I also just feel like it's still like extremely rare. So yeah, a good way to get me to pick up a book is to put a black girl on your cover. This pull quote says, respectability can be a joy stealer. We can be serious and professional and joke about the Obama dildo. I have no idea what they're talking about there, but I'm not arguing with you. I see a book title here because it's italicized. My next book, Dear Black Girl, Letters from Your Sister's Own Stepping Into Your Power. Sounds familiar. I might have bookmarked it at my old library, which obviously isn't really helpful to have requested books at my old library because I moved. I feel like I single-handedly increased the diversity of that library though. Like, I was requesting stuff all the time that like they weren't going to buy and had no plans to buy, and like I just feel like I expanded the collection, and it makes me sad thinking that now that I no longer live there, they probably aren't going to be buying these books by black authors that they normally would have. I haven't even been to the actual physical library here yet where I've moved. Okay, this one's interesting. It has like some what looks like glow stick kind of art, and it says stripping point in a cross shape. It says nipplegate exposed, our deep fear of black women's sexuality. I feel like I heard something about this, like somebody had a nip slip on stage, like I'm not quite sure who it was, but oh, is it just gonna talk about them over time? Janet Jackson apparently. It says America's legacy of sexual panic. That's gonna be interesting. Oh, this artist. These are drawings by Tatiana Veslazade. I don't know how to say it, but I think that's how. And she like draws these murals, or rather, she sort of like puts up different drawings of women to like combat street harassment. Like she has a whole book about combating street harassment that I read last year. So this is really cool because like I'm recognizing a bunch of the authors in this edition. So this is gonna be a really good issue to like read. Yeah, she does these like portraits. Yeah. Always in charcoal. Charcoal is such a cool medium. Unfortunately, it's very messy. Honestly, though, I think I prefer pastels just because you can get some color. Because I feel like it's sort of like a softer charcoal, but with like color. I don't know how to explain it. I really liked using pastels, even though they were also messy. I got an article on Queen Latifah. I don't know much about her, to be honest. I feel like that was sort of like before my time, you know what I mean? Oh my gosh, I love whatever this like light pastel rainbow gradient thing is. Like, ooh, beautiful. I love that. I love iridescence. Ooh. This is a really cool piece. It says, fueled by rage, sustained by joy. I really like that. It kind of reminds me of do no harm, but take no shit. You know what I mean? We've got a timeline of feminist discourse in bitch magazine history, I guess. They really like doing timelines. And apparently they're turning 25, so I guess that's probably the reason why they're showing all of these different covers that they've had over their run. Pretty cool. I like just looking at all of them. Kind of awesome how this magazine has been running for so long, but I only just now started reading it. Actually, on the recommendation of my friend Charlotte, she runs a book channel called Bookish Mama Blooms, and just told me that I probably really like this magazine, and she was not wrong. Okay, this is an article about food, so I'm gonna kind of skip that. So it's about Degrassi, which apparently Drake was on, but I've never seen it. I was more of a freaks and geeks kind of girl. Indigenous horror authors tap into tribal traditions. So this is cool. I bet it will be talking about the only good Indians. I can't remember what the name of that book is, but it was really popular like last year, I think. So I'll be really surprised if it isn't mentioned in here. And here we've got the book recommendations. See if I can kind of show you guys. I did try to start the Disordered Cosmos, which is basically a black astrophysicist explaining space to you. And I started the audiobook. It's really cool. She is only the 63rd black woman in U.S. history to receive a doctorate in physics. So it's awesome to have it explained from that perspective. And she talked about so many really interesting things, such as her theory that like the universe is queer, and talking about what it's like to be a black woman in a field that's particularly white male dominated, and just how it feels to be kind of like pushed out of that, and like the first time she was seen by her teachers and things like that. So like that was really cool. But the problem is that like all the stuff with like the dark matter and everything like that, like this really scientific stuff, like even though she was trying to explain it to a layperson, like a lot of it just flew like straight over my head. I think I only made it like 20% in when I was like, okay, I just can't do it. I really wish I had been able to, but all that stuff just confuses the shit out of me. And I mean, I love space, but like, Jesus. I guess I'll just stick to like looking at the pictures that they put out of like the universe and shit like that, like NASA telescopes, you know what I mean? I haven't read any of the other books on this page. is on Whoopi Goldberg. I feel like Whoopi Goldberg to me is just like Guinan, because that's like the only thing that I ever really like saw her on, you know what I mean? I feel like I see people like clowning the fact that she doesn't really have eyebrows, or just like I saw something recently that like made a joke about Whoopi Goldberg, like why is she famous or something like that, but I can't remember what I saw that on. This is an article on rom-com heroines. Lonely, desperate, and bitter women who continually select broken partners have been an on-screen mainstay for as long as I can remember. I'm not really super interested in that, just because I'm not super into rom-coms. I've got a article about a documentary called Belly of the Beast, which talks about how incarcerated people with wombs are receiving partial and full hysterectomies for routine reproductive concerns. Yikes. I feel like I have heard something about this before. It's like sort of forced sterilization, so like they can't reproduce. Like this is some archaic ass shit, you know? Like some of the shit in this world would just be dark. This one is about Ariana Grande. It says, how far will stands go to declare their love? And this is kind of, I think, a play on her Thank You Next, like the style of that single cover, if I'm not mistaken. I wish Ariana wouldn't like appropriate shit, even though her music is kind of catchy, and I haven't even listened to her newest album. But yeah. We've got 3 podcasts that illustrate the Asian experience in America. I'm assuming this is because of hashtag Stop Asian Hate. It's really freaking stupid that people think that because people are from Asian countries that like they started COVID and they're spreading COVID. Like, I can't even with that. Anyway, that's pretty much the end. The last page asks you what your legacy is and then gives you a blank area, and then you're supposed to like tag them after you put something. But because this edition of the magazine was titled Legacy, you're asking what you hope your legacy will be. Personally, I hope that I will create some sort of work of art of value. I kind of know I don't want kids, so I hope that, you know, some part of me or something worthwhile will live on through my art, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna have an art baby. So yeah, that is the Bitch magazine flip through. Hopefully you all enjoyed this. Hopefully you enjoyed hanging out with me, and hopefully you were able to see some of the pages. I'm not sure how well I really did holding it up, but we do our best, you know. I hope you are relaxed, chill, possibly asleep. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not relaxing. Maybe you're just watching for entertainment, which I totally do with some ASMR, if the person that's talking is interesting enough. But other than that, have a lovely, 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 lovely night. All my bitches out there. Or day, or afternoon, evening, you know, all the different times of day that there are in this world.